This is the future. This is not the past.
The new XFL will kick off in 2020.
If you smell what the XFL is cooking.
It's still football, but it's professional football reimagined.
This is our moment, our story to tell. This is history begun.
This is the XFL!
Welcome, football fans. This is December 3rd, 2019. This is the road to 2020, and this is the XFL Show special edition for some jerseys. I'm Alan.
And I'm Bryant.
And they're out. XFL team uniforms, helmets, aways, homes, pants. They have been revealed, and it was just a blitzkrieg, a crazy flurry of social media activity by all the XFL teams today. And they all had their little get-togethers with all the teams, with players meeting each other, many of them for the first time, and these jersey reveals going into it. It was very much a team-building exercise, Bryant, but now for us fans, we've got beautiful jerseys, 8 good, crisp jerseys to look at. Well, I guess 16, because you got to count both home and away, and we need to give our instant reaction on this special show.
I'm going to 24, Alan, just because we also have helmets to look at too. So the whole ensemble is out. Before we get into all the uniforms, Alan, you're right. You did mention it. What a day for the XFL to have all of these. It was almost like a synchronized attack on Twitter and Instagram between all 8 teams and how they approached this. It started this morning with that little snippet of a video. I don't know if you caught that. Less than a minute, right? And it just gave us that little taste, wanting for more. They started dropping around, I want to say, 5:30 Eastern. And really they haven't stopped since. We just got the last one about a half hour ago with the LA Wildcats. So a lot to get into, but really just kudos to the XFL social media teams out there
working
to get all
hard
this done today.
Yeah, they were working hard, grinding. But they all did their own thing. Like, they were all different. So some were very, very open. Like the LA Wildcats live streamed their whole event.
That
basically,
was great.
It was amazing. I just got done watching it. It was the last one. It's like they got like a boxing or wrestling ring announcer guy.
They announced him at the very beginning. I don't know who it was.
It was great.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, and then you had the Vipers. They had Aaron Murray, the quarterback, kind of afterwards say a little something about the jersey. Cardale Jones did the same thing for DC. And in Seattle, they put out kind of like after the reveal, a little video as well. And that beautiful, beautiful dragon. Oh, my goodness. And then you have the close look at the sword on the helmet of the Battlehawks. And it just said, their tweet said, the sword, though. And a lot of people talking about that one. I was reading a lot of the comments on Twitter. I haven't spent that much time just watching Twitter for hours on end in a while. And that's what I did tonight, was just watching it all go down there and seeing what people were saying. It was pretty interesting. We see a lot of you here live on our YouTube channel in the chat room joining us. Appreciate you. We want to hear what you think of each jersey. If you've got rankings. Am I allowed to give rankings out, Bryant, on this special show?
On YouTube, never on the special shows. We might actually do it for free this week on our regular show, so check that out. I haven't decided if we're going to do that yet. We got to get through the rundown first, but we'll see.
Well, there's no way I'm going to contain mine. So maybe if it's not formal rankings, you're going to know my favorites, and that might change too. It might change. It was changing throughout the day as these were getting revealed. Because I did say right out of the gate, I said no way any team's jerseys, combo helmet jerseys away and home, will be better than the DC Defenders. But I think there might be one or maybe 2 jerseys that topped them. But I love the DC Defenders jersey, especially the helmet, the logo, the DC on the helmet is so rad.
So this is going to be a little shorty edition of this entire show, right? We're just going to kind of give you our live reactions to all this. That's why we don't have Jake here, because if he was on this broadcast right now, he would be talking until Wednesday afternoon. So just catch his feedback, because he's been waiting for this big day for quite some time now, Alan. But you're right. There were some great Early jerseys, you did say nothing's going to beat that DC, and I think it got beat pretty quickly, if I'm not mistaken. Really nothing too crazy. I do want to go through some surprises that I had as jerseys were coming out, and a lot of the question marks I might have, but still a lot of positive things to say today about all these uniforms.
Yeah, and also really cool for each uniform reveal on XFL.com. Each team has a close look at the jerseys, and they give you kind of the thinking behind all the elements for each jersey. So, like, if I'm looking at the DC page right now, they say it's inspired by a tradition of service and sacrifice, similar to the when the team name was revealed and they had the whole video for each team. This is a lot like that, but they're also explaining the helmets are going to have these lightning bolts, which are representing seeking glory through grit, star-spangled lightning striped. And also they tell you that there are 3 different helmets each player is going to get to choose, which is pretty important for them, from 3 different companies. And yeah, I like that they did that. It's really interesting. And also note this, Bryant, you told me this last night whenever you were getting word on what these jerseys would be like when you went to the LA Wildcats get together. There's no branding on these jerseys except team names and XFL.
Yeah, it's an intriguing part of the entire process. I guess the XFL is taking ownership of these jerseys, which good on them. Maybe they get more say in what they get to do, and that's fine by me. I do want to mention here, Alan, because we are live on YouTube. Let's hit the road. Jack says his number 1, LA Wildcats. Thank you very much. I got a sneak peek a little bit, with that video this morning, and I didn't know what to expect. The LA Wildcats did not disappoint in my eyes, Alan. I feel like their continuity is pretty evenly matched. It's what you expected. They're really the only ones. Maybe I guess you could say Houston, but really looking at the helmet, you can tell where this team is from and what they represent, and that's what I love the most about the LA Wildcats jerseys.
I mean, I love the LA logo. Yeah, you put that. See, what was cool was we knew the logos for all these teams, but how would they be placed on the helmet? And so, like, LA's is pretty straightforward. It's on a black helmet. It looks pretty cool. As a colorblind person, black and red is fun but hard for me, so it's tough for me to say that's my favorite. I'm not going to get into the colors too much. I'll just say what looks awesome. And I like them all. I think in terms of if you're comparing to other spring leagues or even NFL jerseys or college jerseys, I mean, there's really, I don't think a miss among anything in these XFL jerseys. They all look like professional, well thought out jerseys. And I think that's the consensus I saw, at least, was as I was just on Twitter. I mean, of course, there are always detractors and people who aren't going to like certain looks, but if you take the way the helmets, were taken as a canvas, and what they did with them for teams like the Dragons, the Battlehawks, and the Guardians in particular, they really utilize different spaces on the helmets that I think is really interesting and cool and make those stand out. And I have to say, it's probably between those 3 for my favorite. I'm leaning Guardians, though, because that gargoyle looks absolutely ferocious. That is the meanest looking helmet, maybe in all of sports.
Go Guardians, right on. What were your 3 then? So it's Guardians.
Well, I'm just saying in terms of the helmets, the way the helmets were they designed them and they used different. Like, look at that dragon. The dragon that whoever sees a part of the logo down near under the ear. I mean, they use the neck of the dragon.
Sideburns.
Yeah, and that's and I like that. I like that. It's different. That dragon logo we've already seen it. We've known. I've loved the dragon logo. It's one of my favorite things the XFL has done among anything, and the fact that they utilize different spaces on it, and then you look at the Battlehawks helmet. That near whole helmet is a logo, and that's amazing. I love it. It's very much in the vein of
Battlehawks logo.
Ooh, really?
Go ahead, sorry.
You like the Battlehawks logo. You're not just
I love the Battlehawks logo. I mean, I'm sorry,
wow.
The helmet. No. I really do love it. The reason mostly because Jake was so on, talking, bad about when you were going to see that that logo, really see the STL. And now anytime, the St. Louis Battlehawks get pancaked, you're going to be able to see that STL upside down every single time when they're laying flat on their backs. It's great. Great marketing by the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah, that's sword though. And then what about the baby
blue ballers?
Yeah, the baby blue ballers. I was gonna say the baby blue ballers, the Renegades. Now, I like the jersey. I like the white jersey especially for the Renegades. The home jersey not as much because I think the helmet paired with the white jersey looks pretty cool. Black, I don't know. I don't know if it should be a black jersey. Half thought it might be a baby blue jersey. I don't know. What did you think?
Too bright. If it was baby blue, it would have been too much. I think the baby blue helmet looks good. You're right. It does complement the away jerseys a little bit better, but I don't mind it on the home jerseys one bit. It's pretty legit. Again, the logo fits nicely onto that helmet, but the baby blue ballers they're going to come to play and they're going to look pretty good doing it. They look slick. I'll tell you that much. They don't look like Renegades to me. They look slick, like slick football players, but they're going to look good on that football field. Alan, I did mention two surprises that I had. I'll throw the first one at you and tell me what you think. It's on the away jersey side, and I think you mentioned it as well when we were talking back and forth throughout the day. Two teams didn't go all white for their away jerseys, right? You had Houston and New York go with a light gray. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm not against it, but I would have preferred the solid whites on the away side.
Yeah, I was looking at the Roughnecks jersey, and my fiance said they look like the Astros, and I said, okay, well that makes sense, I guess. But I thought for sure white jersey for Houston would have been a lot cooler. Honestly, the surprising thing for them is that their helmets are silver. To me, I did not expect that, and honestly, it's kind of disturbing because they look a little bit like the Patriots when they're in those away uniforms.
Yeah,
to me at least. But I do like the home jerseys a lot for the Roughnecks.
When you said Astros, did you mean the Texans?
No, she meant the Astros when she was looking at the away jersey color scheme, and when the Astros wear grays, is what she.
Oh,
she was
got it. Okay, I'm with
you
now.
Yeah, but I did see on Twitter people were saying, "Wow, they look similar to the Texans."
Oh my God, the shoes! I'm just looking at the shoes right now. I'm wondering how I totally forgot about the whole shoe concept of this entire process. I'm gonna have to go through and reevaluate my entire rankings based on shoes now too.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be interesting to see the XFL's rules on footwear. I don't know if I'm picking.
You know what? Uniforms are cool, Alan, but when's the rule book coming out?
Yeah, it's always what the next thing is, right? No, I can't think of anything but all these uniforms because I want to know which one I want to get first because they're going to be on sale on XFL Shop. I guess in a week is what it sounds like. But we haven't talked too much about the Vipers unis, Bryant. I like them. I just think there's a severe lacking of scales on these jerseys. Where are the scales on the pants? I was hoping for that.
I was hoping for some scales too. The V, I'm a little disappointed too because I thought it would come to the crown of the helmet, and wrap, over the top rather than on the sides like that. The green, they went with the dark green for the home. I thought they would go with more of that lime, bright green for the jerseys and not so much the dark, but they still look clean. Every single one of these look legit. They look great. They look like legitimate football teams. And can you really? I mean, we're going to bring it in here just for a second here, but compared to the AAF, I mean, nothing the AAF did with starter compares to what the XFL did with themselves.
Yeah, the AAF, I think, especially with the helmets, was missing the mark on a few of them at least. I think in terms of the helmets, all the XFL helmets look, quite frankly, badass. And some of them absolutely amazing. Like, I legitimately think this Guardians helmet is one of the coolest football helmets I've ever seen. I can't get over it.
I don't like the back too much. That's my only thing. The back of the helmet's a little weird. It's because it wraps all the way around. If they cut off the gargoyle in the, after the head, I would have been okay with that.
If it was acceptable to buy a football helmet and wear it and sit in the stands, that's what I encourage all Guardians fans to do. Wear the helmet in the crowd. It's so awesome. I want to buy they should make hats with the gargoyles on the side.
You think they're going to send you a turkey wrapped helmet Maybe is that what's next?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. You know what? So in our chats, as we're shooting messages back to each other throughout the reveals here, and I think Jake and I got into this a little bit too, and just like the combinations. Do you expect maybe white pants to be utilized on home jerseys some? Do you think they'll experiment with that at all, or do you expect to see what was revealed today in terms of combinations all year long?
Well, pretty much everybody had white pants except the Battlehawks and the Roughnecks, it looks like, for their away jerseys. And on the home side, I want to say they all had dark. I could see LA maybe doing it. Maybe
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to see LA in maybe.
Look at that ombre color, like on the sides of the
White
aways, where it
pants.
goes from like orange to, and then just kind of bleeds into the black. I really like those pants. Even
Black pants
guess
for
they could
LA on the
experiment,
road would be pretty cool, I think. And then, and we were just talking about the Vipers. Like, I think they could make some tweaks. Like, I think their white pants with those home jerseys would look cool. Maybe a little bit better. Maybe a little less. I don't. There's something about it's maybe too 1990s Oregon Ducky to me. Although in Pittsburgh, Ducks are all the rage right now. It does look a little like the Ducks. But that's a good thing. Everybody loves those uniforms. These are, and yes, Gavin just took the words right out of my mouth in the chat. These are better, I think, top to bottom than the AAF jerseys were. And if we're going all the way back to 2001, Brian, maybe Orlando Rage jerseys might sneak somewhere here in like the 7 or 8 if we're ranking them. Right? But honestly, this beats, I think, all the XFL 2001 jerseys as well.
it really does. You're right, Alan. Alan, you're the local Marvel guy here. We had Stone Cold with a K, 10X say Vipers jerseys look like Marvel character Electro. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's the terrible Jennifer Garner version one. I think. I think so. I'm not sure. Which one are we talking about? Which team?
He said the Vipers. The Vipers look like Marvel character Electro. I'm gonna have to Google this real quick.
I don't know. Vipers. The Vipers away tops are my favorite for them, and I think if you give them, just swap them, give them the greens on the away, and then give them the whites on the home in terms of the pants. And then you're cooking with Tampa Bay. I'd probably rate if we're doing rankings, which I'm not allowed to do. Tampa Bay might be my 8, Bryant. 8. Even though I think very highly of their roster and their coach. And when it's all said, and done,
this is definitely gonna have an impact on how these teams play on the field.
Yeah, not at all. These jerseys won't impact how they play on the field. They won't impact anything. I think in terms of whether the league's successful or not. Quite frankly,
it's the quality of the play.
It's all about what they do while wearing these jerseys. That's all that matters to anybody. But
Alan, I sent you the Electro image that I found here. Go check that out. Tell me what you think.
Okay. Now I thought he was talking about Electra. Is this like okay? Yeah, those. All right, I know what you're talking about now. All right, yeah, that is a Viper, the Viper Man. That should be the mascot, maybe the Viper Man. Maybe they should get that deal going with Disney and get the Electro at the show, at the games. Cross promotion right there.
Right there. Alan, I did bring up one. I told you I had 2 surprises. The other one that I wanted to bring up was with the Dragons on their home jerseys. They went with, what was it? A blue, like a dark, almost navy blue. I really thought they were going to go really dark green because of their logo. They went dark blue. That really shocked me. I thought they would go with green.
This the seas by which the dragon travels and slumbers and comes for the attack, I guess, is what they're going for there. I don't know. Also, maybe because the Vipers are already so green. I don't know if you could have 2 green teams. They are very different. But I think the Dragons helmet. I gotta say I'm not a fan of blue jerseys, Bryant. Not a big fan of the navy blue jerseys for the Dragons. I was kind of shocked too. But the fact that the helmet is white, it's amazing. I love the Dragons helmet.
You're probably going to, just looking at this, you're probably going to hate games between New York and LA and probably St. Louis if you're just talking helmet wise, because you're going to run into some issues, I think, there.
That's why we got to make sure away teams wear away jerseys, home teams wear home jerseys. None of this color rush nonsense. I just had to watch a Pitt basketball, Rutgers basketball game just now. Both teams were in darks, and I have a headache right now. It was the worst. But I dig that almost all the teams are white. Like we said, 2 teams went gray for the aways. And I think for the Guardians, that totally rules. The Roughnecks, I don't know, a white would have been cool, but we'll see how it looks when they're on the field. Are you going to give away any of your favorites? A favorite helmet, jersey top, anything?
Maybe I should, because I don't know how many words I'm going to get in once Jake gets on this mic on the show on Sunday. For those of you just tuning in, this is the XFL show. We're talking jerseys, Alan. This is pretty good. I'm pretty excited. We waited a long time for this moment. We are 9-ish weeks left till kickoff. If you have anything to say it on YouTube. Also follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook at XFL Show. Nothing really bad to say. There were some surprises. I don't hate anything. I don't mind anything. I love the lightning bolt on the DC jersey. I really can't say anything bad about the St. Louis jersey because it's going to look great when Oakman's sacking Jordan Taumu and putting him on his back. So it's going to be a great time at that game. But there's the baby blue ballers, man. They look pretty good. They don't scream renegade to me, but they look really good.
Yeah, I don't know if it fits the nickname, but they look sleek on the aways for sure. I think the Battlehawks jersey, the numbers, I like the edging around the numbers of the homes, the blue. That pops to me. I cannot wait for them to run out of whatever the tunnel and the crowd's going to see them. Hopefully they're going to have some sort of staged wings above the tunnel. The wings, that sword, I mean, they could do a lot there. And the jerseys all fit in with it all. The St. Louis brand looks really cool. And I'm saying this, and I think it looks like a Philadelphia Eagles type helmet, but I still think that's rad. I'm a sucker for a logo that spans more than just the middle of a helmet. Not to knock the LA Wildcats, placement and their kind of generic spacing, at least on the helmet. I will say about the Wildcats, Bryant, their helmet, the face mask, best in the league.
If we're gonna break this down by pieces, or is that what we're doing? The face mask, the helmet, and then we're
why is the Vipers could have had the best helmet. One? The Vipers could have had the best face mask, but they didn't go. They went with the light, whatever. Is that yellow, lime green, whatever that? Damn it! You got me talking
pink.
Colors.
It's pink. It's
the
pink.
Don't you think it would have been better if they contrasted the face mask to the helmet for the Vipers, like the Wildcats?
They did. What are you talking about? It's green and yellow.
That's hardly. That doesn't pop.
Oh, YouTubers, tell them that it pops between the green and the yellow, please. Leon, I did catch the simulcast from the Wildcats in their Vegas event. Absolutely incredible. So it was pretty good. And if you didn't enjoy that, I don't know what
Oakman was getting down.
A lot of fun.
Oakman
was getting
dancing
down. They spiked footballs. You had, boxing announcers out there. It was pretty. It was very LA/Vegas like. So it was a lot of fun there. Alan, anything left to say? I know we could probably talk for hours upon this. I wanted to make this a little short of a version, but we can go a few more minutes here. Maybe if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat there. We'll answer those as we run out of time. As we run out of time here, man, I can't believe you don't think that pops between the green and the yellow.
So for the face mask and the Vipers helmet, I don't know. I'll have to take a closer look at it.
Stone Cold 10 says it pops.
It pops.
And then we got someone else says it doesn't pop.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, look at that Wildcats face mask though. That looks tough. It looks cool. I saw one thing I do want to get in before we get out of here. Not a lot, but a handful of comments I saw on Twitter while these were being revealed. People said, the XFL could have done this and that with these in terms of like making them more grandiose, making them wilder, making them more distinct and different and innovative in terms of football jerseys. Basically, people saying they were kind of basic or just in terms of how they're structured, generic uniforms. People said they wanted to see kind of NFL Europe type jerseys. And I am so glad they didn't do that because, like you said at one point during the show, Brian, these look professional. They don't look too insane. They look like they fit the brand, they fit the league, but they're not going out there and they're not over the top or nonsensical, and everything is placed on these jerseys in a way that it makes sense. Like the lightning bolt on the side of the DC pants there. It's a good crisp jersey. I think similar to the play. I'm not even kidding here. These were well thought out. They didn't go too wild, but they did get innovative in some areas while, making sure not to go insane. And I mean, thank God no one came out in a crop top. I got to say that. Although, on game day, if Sean Oakman wants to wear a crop top, that's up to him.
Oh man, Alan, if I'm not mistaken, I think the dragon, it goes all the way through the helmet, through the side of the top, and then through the pants. If you see that squiggle, it's like an entire dragon all the way down. I mean, that's some accent right there, and that's different. You don't see that everywhere, right? Where you have that little squiggly dragon all the way through the entire jersey, basically. Like what more? That's such a slight change that makes that jersey pop even more. If you look at
subtle.
The Wildcats jerseys, that they have this ombre thing going from the top to the bottom on the side. You have the DC with the bolts. I mean, there's a lot of great accents in these jerseys. No way that we're going to go NFL Europe or even like, the soccer teams in Europe where they all have logos and stuff. I mean, what do you want to see? A Snickers logo in front of the Wildcats logo on a football jersey? Come on. This is going to be pretty cool. It's going to look great on the field, and you're going to have legit teams out there, and they look crisp. And I don't mean that as a pun.
Well, maybe that's something we could get into for the big show this week. But in terms of advertisements on these jerseys, could be a source of revenue for the league. That's a debate to have if there's an opportunity there. A Snickers logo, would it hurt to put that on the collar there or on the breastplate of one of these jerseys, Bryant? Maybe something we have to pay attention to and talk about later this week.
Oh, definitely a lot to get into. So make sure you're subscribing to here on YouTube or even on our podcast feed. Just search for This is the XFL Show on your podcast gimmick. Alan's really trying to get me out of here.
Get out of here! It's your birthday. Go celebrate.
What better party is it than to get 8 jerseys, helmets, and pants, and shoes? What better present could I ask for on this fine birthday of mine, Alan? I'll let you finish this off, but I'll just say follow us on social media at XFL Show. Tell your friends about us. We're here every single week. We're almost hitting 100, Alan. We're this close to episode 100.
Oh, yeah. 100 episodes creeping up on us real fast as we are just
100 episode brand.
100 episode brand, 100-year show, forever in 100 years, and we are 9.5 weeks away from kickoff 2020, and there you have it. Jerseys are now official. Rule book, mini camp starting, lots and lots of big announcements still to go before we kick this thing off, and we're gonna, of course, as we have, follow it along each and every single pit stop on the way. And we couldn't thank you enough for joining us here live on YouTube, or if you caught this episode on the podcast feed or want to listen to it back, it will be there as well. And of course, at XFL Show on all social media. Gimmicks for Bryant, the birthday boy, Bryant. I'm Alan. This is the XFL Show. Remember, they're listening.